Magandang araw. Ako po ay magbibigay ng reaction video dito sa interview ni Miss Karen Davila kay Dr. Benigno Agbayani. Ito po ay about ivermectin at titingnan natin kung ano ang aking marireact bilang doktor. Ito yung part 2. Kung hindi nyo naabutan yung part 1, hanapin nyo lang po sa aking YouTube channel itong aking part 1. Part 2 na po tayo. Tuloy natin yung ating video reaction. Sa hindi po nakakakilala, ako po si Dr. Tolentino, isang surgical oncologist sa Metro Manila. At nagle-lecture ako about COVID-19. Nakapag-alaga na rin ako ng pasyenteng may COVID. Tingnan natin ang susunod na pangyayari dito.
But ivermectin is not an antiviral drug. They will argue.
That's why we had to show that it works to kill the virus, and that is the significant.
Inamin na hindi nga antiviral drug. Accepted worldwide. Although maraming doktor ang nagsasabi na pwede nga ito sa COVID kasi nga nakita sa mga studies nila na actually maraming studies about ivermectin kaso yung iba para sa akin hilaw, hindi pa ganun very strong. Para yung WHO, DFA, Drug Food Administration ba yun? Na para ma-recommend sa mga tao.
Significance of that study, it does reduce the number of virus inside the test tube.
Test tube? Opo, sa test tube. Hindi sa tao.
And that was clearly shown. And then again, there was this study that blocks the receptor sites for the...
In vitro study sa test tube. Hindi human kasi hindi pa nila to na yung effect ng ivermectin sa mismo tao doon sa cells kasi mahirap gawin yun. Mahirap na gawin. Kaya napatunayan nila sa test tube, in vitro study, pwede.
For the virus, which is key in preventing the virus from spread.
Tingnan nyo kasi ang medicine hindi pwedeng from laboratory diretso na agad ibigay sa tao. Hindi ho ganun kasi kailangan ng clinical trials. And so far, yung mga clinical trials showing positive results pero hindi pa tapos ongoing trials. Yun ang problema kasi mahirap yung ongoing trials susundin natin agad, mahirap.
Spread or from growing or spreading. And then you have these, then you have the 52 clinical studies already.
52 clinical studies, Pero iba doon trials, hindi pa tapos. By the way, kung meron pong mali doon sa sinasabi ko, I am willing to accept kung ano ang masasabi kong mali. Kasi ito po ay base lang sa aking nalaman, sa aking ginawang research as of this time. Kaya kung may mali po, I am more than happy to be corrected.
Okay, but if this is the case, then why hasn't ivermectin been approved by the US FDA as, let's say, part of the treatment for COVID-19? Although it is being used in other countries, like for example, it is used in Honduras as part of their COVID treatment kit, but not in countries where the Philippine FDA trusts findings like the US FDA or even the European Medical Association.
Okay. Based on sa study na nabasa ko o based sa aking research, wala pa kasing randomized control trial na very strong to recommend. Ang randomized control trial is a very powerful study. So nakita ko yung ibang randomized trials na kinukod doon sa 52 trials, kakaunti na yung pasyente. Para sa akin, hindi siya strong to be recommended.
Absolutely right. It's very disappointing actually that they be very slow responding to ivermectin because it's cheap, it's effective.
Oo, kasi nga ganito, ang ivermectin is very cheap, pero hindi naman porket cheap, gagamitin na natin agad without FDA tsaka WHO na backup, di ba? Although FDA, sabi nga natin, nabigyan na ng special permit yung mga hospitals, mga doctors to prescribe the medicine. Pero majority sa tingin ko based on my feel lang hindi ko wala akong statistics. Sa tingin ko more of the doctors here in the Philippines hindi pa handa para ireseta to.
But we looked at the way they analyze the data, and it looks like they're not looking at all the data. And if you review particularly the studies that they mentioned, I think they only mentioned 11 out of 24. So that to me is a bit suspect. And then when
Oo. Anyway, ito namang mga nasa WHO, di ba? Mga scientists ito. Kaya pinipili nila yung tingin nila magandang studies. Hindi natin ito, wala tayong control sa WHO, sa mga different governing bodies. Mahirap. Kasi nga, research is, napakamalalim na topic yan in medicine.
when this was presented here in the Philippines, our own group from the FDA and the PSMID, this was just in March. This was just last month. They
Yung Philippine Society of Infectious Medicine yata, ayun, parang hindi nila nare-recommend ang ivermectin. Kasi kung i-recommend ng, please correct me if I'm wrong, Philippine Society of Infectious Medicine, sorry, hindi ko sigurado, pero pag na-recommend nung body na yon na binubuo ng mga infectious specialists, di ba, infectious doctor specialists, most likely kahit paano magagamit ng mga doktor na to sa Pilipinas.
only used six studies out of the 24 available RCTs during that time.
Kasi ganito, hindi naman porke RCTs tama lahat Yun ang problem. Kasi yung iba, randomized control trial pero kaunti ang pasyente or hindi tama ang pagkakagawa ng trial. Kaya very scrutinizing dapat ang WHO para sa mga ganitong kaso.
So there seems to be some kind of cherry picking, and we don't really know why.
Ang cherry picking, pinipili lang. Pero ako kasi sa tingin ko, di naman natin siguro mababaliwala yung mga magagaling na mga scientists sa WHO. Kasi ito talaga ang kanilang trabaho. I am sure merong mga epidemiologists dyan. Hindi ako epidemiologist, although nakakaintindi ako ng research. Gumagawa kasi ako ng research.
Why they're doing that?
But the president has now asked the DOST to conduct its own clinical trials. That's a good sign.
Ang problem sa clinical trial, matagal ang resulta. Tsaka i-design mo pa yung trial, kung anong dosage. Matagal yun. Baka years ang abutin. Mahirap gumawa ng trial. Kaya sa akin, maraming trials ongoing. Hintayin na lang natin din yung mga results. Although, napansin ko sa mga trials, hindi lang pure ivermectin ang ginamit. Mga iba't ibang gamot sinama sa ivermectin. Kaya hindi natin masisigurado na talagang sa ivermectin yung effect na nakuha ng pasyente.
For you?
No. I'm sorry to say because about 2 weeks ago, the DOST actually said we don't need to do more clinical trials.
Okay, matagal kasi. Pangalawa, talagang marami ng trials ongoing na although as of this time, positive results, maganda. Pero kailangan pa itong scrutinize kasi kung tama ba yung ginagawa nilang technique.
It was very clearly mentioned. And then a week later, they said that they will be part of a clinical trial. I think this will be done at the UPPGH. But what's strange about that is even today, some of their undersecretaries are saying that there are enough trials. So what I'm saying is...
Yung trials na ongoing, sa tingin ko kung madadagdagan pa natin yung madadagdagan pa kasi kailangan talaga natin ng strong evidence.
Can do the trial. There's nothing wrong with doing it. But it should not be a prerequisite to allowing full use of ivermectin or to get it onto our pharmacies as soon as possible because of the emergency that we have.
But then how can you guarantee that it is safe? So the question...
Okay, regarding safety ng ivermectin, napag-aralan na ito eh. Ang ivermectin, actually very safe siya. Based on the many experiences sa treatment ng mga tao ng ivermectin, very safe siya. Although mayroong mga side effects tulad ng vomiting, pwedeng skin reactions, hepatitis, naninilaw, may allergy, headache, minor, pero as of this time, wala akong alam na namatay sa ivermectin. Pero importante, alam natin kung ano yung dosage sa tama. Kasi sa mga clinical trials, nasa meta-analysis, yung pinul nila lahat ng mga trials at saka mga studies, iba-iba ang dosage, iba-iba ang frequency kung paano binibigay. So ang problema, anong susundin natin doon? Hindi naman pwedeng hulaan lang natin kasi sa medicine kailangan meron kang basis, hindi pwedeng hula-hula lang. Mahirap manghula sa medicine. Maaring yung binibigay nating gamot wala talagang effect or yung binibigay nating gamot sobra ang effect na pwedeng makasira ng ating katawan.
Now is they talked about side effects of overdosing on ivermectin.
Sabi nila based sa mga meetings namin, yung ivermectin kahit bigay mo ng marami, hindi siya masyado talagang nagbibigay ng side effect. Very wide yung kanyang safety features.
People that could be taking it wrongly or even the DOH fearing that they may have a false sense of security.
Correct. Remember, Karen, that this drug is an approved drug worldwide.
Yes, approved drug but not for COVID virus infection. Yun ang ating dapat intindihin.
It actually has a 35-year history.
Yeah, 35-year probable history. And with regard to safety, talagang very safe, pero but not in COVID patients.
Of use for as an antiparasite, and reports of adverse events, report of deaths have been going on for 35 years. And the profile that it shows, it is one of the safest drugs available nowadays.
Based on my research also, very safe.
And I've double-checked on some of those claims that it causes brain damage, and those are very rare.
Correct, very rare yun. Although possible, pero rare nga.
The other one I checked is, what if you give high-dose ivermectin to a patient? This was tried many years ago because it was used for malaria. And did you know that you may actually use it for dengue? And those are one of the positive. But going back...
ganito, yung dosage for malaria, for dengue, hindi natin pwedeng yun sa tao for COVID. Hindi ganun ang medicine. Kaya kung bibigay mo siya for dengue before or for other infections like parasites, so gagawin mo yung dosage na yun for COVID, hindi tama yun. Kailangan mo ng basis for the dosaging. Yun ang akin. Hindi ko lang alam kina Dr. Agbayani kung saan nila nakuha yung dosaging. Baka mayroong mga research paper before na doon sila nag-base.
Back to the high dose, they actually show that you can give even as high as 10 times the recommended dose. And there's even a study that did 20 times the recommended dose. And even at those high doses, no side effects were reported. So that's very good for ivermectin as a drug with very high safety profile.
Are you taking ivermectin yourself?
Yes po, yes.
So how did you figure out the doses?
Yun. As of this time kasi, yung mga clinical trials, iba-iba ang dosages iba-iba talaga ang frequency. So ngayon, kung si Dr. Agbayani umiinom ng ivermectin, siguro sana malaman natin kung saan galing yung guidelines on how to take it. Tingnan natin kasi hindi pwedeng hulaan mo lang, ay ito sa tingin ko eh. Tsaka based sa experience ng ibang doktor, ganito dapat ang pag-inom. Tingnan natin ang kanyang sagot.
Who made the doses for you?
Ang ganda ng tanong ni Karen Davila. That's also my question.
This is based on the clinical studies as well as pharmacokinetic studies.
Oo. Pero sa anong studies? Kailangan ma-pinpoint natin kung anong study yon. Kasi hindi pwedeng based on studies. Pero kailangan dapat meron kang author, title of the research paper. Kasi mahirap ito eh. Kasi this is very critically important. Alam dapat natin yung pinanggagalingan ng ating dosage. Kasi katulad ko, doktor, kasi kung sasabihin niya yung scientific paper, pwede kong hanapin yan sa Google, sa PubMed, yung aming pinaka-reference center, at babasahin namin. Kung talagang valid, why not, di ba? Kailangan malaman kasi talaga namin kung anong paper yun.
That were done before.
So which clinical studies did you...
Hindi ko maintindihan ba't napakatalino ni Karen. Ang galing magtanong para siyang doktor. Ganyan kami magtanong mga doktor. Talagang nag-research talaga siya. At magaling ang researcher niya. Tingnan natin ang sagot ni Dr. Agbayani.
To follow?
I'm presently using the ones by the FLCCC.
By the way, itong FLCC, tiningnan ko yung kanyang website eh. Kasi may nagsabi sa akin, flcc.com, wala yung website. Hindi ko alam bakit wala yung website na yun. Sunod, based on my research before, yung FLCC na research paper, it was rejected for publication because of some technical flaws. So hindi siya pwedeng ma-publish. So hindi siya pwedeng maging guideline as of this time. Unless siguro yung FLCC na grupo ay ayusin yung kanilang paper. So yun ang masasabi ko sa FLCC. Hindi ko alam kung saan nanggaling yung nawawala yung website. So kung alam niyo yung website, pwede pakilagay sa aking comment section. Pagpasensya nyo, no time for maghanap kasi ako dahil impromptu reaction video.
Frontline COVID-19 critical care group, because they're widely used it in the United States. They have just about to publish their paper.
Kaso ngayon, kung FLCC nga ito, hindi ito na-publish eh, na-reject.
Their meta-analysis. And I think they're the one.
Ako bilang nakikinig po sa amin ngayon, kayo na mismo ang maghanap. Ako na ang nag-advise sa inyo. Hanapin yung flcc.com o FLCC and COVID. Tingnan nyo kung ano yung istorya behind that. Kasi maaaring yung nabasa ko hindi na-updated before. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, I'm just here na maaaring mali ang sinasabi ko. I'm open for correction. Kaya kayo ang gusto kong mag-research.
That's very aggressive about using it. Of course, we're also using Dr. Alan Landrito's protocol.
Oo, Dr. Alan Landrito's protocol, by the way, ay classmate ko sa medicine ito, napakabit na taon, talino. Okay, wala itong nakakaaway sa amin kasi sobrang bait. Si Dr. Alan Landrito kasi hindi mo pwedeng para sa amin kasi kung ang isang tao may case series na walang research based on experience lang, napakahirap nun. Kasi nga, kahit sabihin mo maraming pasyente pero hindi mo nagawa ng tamang data collection based on the feel lang or based on your experience, based on my experience in treating patients at gagawin natin sa ibang tao without any guidelines, napakahirap po nun para sa medicine. Napakahirap po. Kasi hindi natin alam kung ano nangyari sa mga pasyente, hindi ba natin na-follow up? Na-follow up ba? Dapat, sana gumawa siya ng parang data. Ang problema, meron tayong data privacy, hindi ng problema. Pero yung case series, nasusundin mo yung kanilang ginawa at gagawin mo, ay hindi po ganun ang paggawa ng prescription for a medicine. Sa tingin ko ha.
Protocol, because in the Philippines, at least, he has the most experience.
Oo, hindi pwedeng experience lang. Kailangan data. Ang pinag-uusapan po natin dito is scientific evidence. I am sure si Dr. Agbayani, meron yan evidence probably na kwento ni Dr. Landrito o naipakita niya yung kanyang data, pero sa atin napaka-importante ng data na yon.
I'm pretty sure he's treated more than 10,000 Filipinos already.
Oo, ganito no. Na-treat ni Dr. Landrito during that time na wala siyang permit to give that prescription for human use. Yun ang problema eh. Tsaka nag-compound siya ng ivermectin without special license. Di ba? Although kaklase ko to, hindi ko alam kung what will happen with that system. Mahirap yun. Without license to operate. At saka just giving ivermectin without FDA approval, mahirap. Although alam ko maraming tao sa inyo nagmamahal kay classmate Alan, okay lang naman yon. Lahat tayo ay may freedom to decide and to do what we want, di ba?
Okay. I do hope to speak to Dr. Alan Landrito one of these days because you are more of the research on the matter when we spoke on the phone and you were a skeptic in the beginning. I wanted to ask you.
Skeptic meaning in doubt pa. Tingnan natin kung ano yung dahilan, bakit siya ba't niya napunta sa ivermectin usage.
Because both of you and Dr. Alan Landrito had history with Juan Ponce Enrile, former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile. How did Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile come about using ivermectin?
Well, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile has been doing his own research together with his daughter, Katrina.
Okay, ang pag-research po, okay lang ho yan, pero dapat marunong kang umunawa ng scientific data. Kasi meron talagang mga expert on research, meron expert on clinical studies. Kailangan meron kang scientific knowledge din on how to scrutinize data.
And apparently they were in touch with Dr. Alan Landrito first, and then we all got together in a Zoom meeting before he started using ivermectin. So this was the first day he wanted to be sure. He wanted to talk to Alan Landrito, he wanted to talk to CDC-PH. So when after the discussion, he said, okay, I am convinced. I will show you that I will drink it at 98 years old. So that was like a month ago or more than a month ago. And he's doing fine. And despite the fact that there were positive cases near his household or in his household.
Ay, tatapusin ko na rito yung reaction video ko. Tayong mga pasyente, di ba? Naging pasyente rin ako. Siyempre, we respect and we believe our doctors. Hindi natin mawala yan kay Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. Okay. Yun namang mga doktor, siguro, just be careful in prescribing any medication. Kasi, although sabihin natin safe yung medicine, pero hindi pa natin kasi alam if we are really doing good for the patient. Maaaring yung binibigay nating dosage kulang kung uminom yung pasyente. By the way, yung half-life ng ivermectin is about 18 hours. Ano sabihin ng 18 hours? After 18 hours, nagiging kalahati na yung concentration hanggang bumaba ng bumaba. At ang ivermectin kasi nakita ko, yung dosage is about 1 tablet every 12 weeks. So by dating ng 12 weeks, talagang wala na yun. Hindi ko alam kung paano makakaprotect yung ivermectin sa time na wala na siya sa blood. Or kaunting-kaunti na lang yung concentration. Although ang sabi nila, nabasa ko, yung 12 hours, nasa intestine pa yan. Pero intestine, ang COVID kasi is more of lung infection. Kaya dapat mag-research po tayo lahat. Yun lang. Hanggang sa muli, don't forget to subscribe. Bye.